people jumping in on Instagram. Good to have you here. We're just going to get started. Was a little bit late, so people are just coming in as we go along, and that's fine because today is more of a talk and a little less meditation. So if you don't like talking and if you don't like hearing the truth or my truth, just log off right away, because this is going to be one hell of a session, to say it that way. I'm going to talk about meditation. I'm going to talk about negative things happening in our society. And of course, we also talk about positive things. But the whole session will be mostly negative. So if you don't like that, if you don't like to be realistic or anything like that, just log off and unfollow me or everything like that. I will explain why, because this session is about seeing the normal turn abnormal and abnormal. And this began for me several years ago, exactly 19 to 20 years ago, when I got more and more into meditation techniques, in deeper meditation techniques, more and more into using meditation to change perspective, to get a broader overview over what is happening around me, to get more awareness of the world around me, interacting with the world, become more aware of my feelings. And again, that's something that that I really are hammering on all the time. Connect your heart to your brain again, because in this world, from the moment we go to school, we are being taught to disconnect our heart from our brain. We are being taught to not listen to our feelings and only think logical. And we're also being taught what to think, not how to think. So those are things that I realized myself more and more. The more I meditated, the more I became still, the more I climbed that ladder up and looked down at society and observed and just noticed what we are doing. If you hear people talking about that we are living in a mental asylum, I must say I agree with them. Because the things we are doing on this planet, the things we are doing to each other and with each other, is just completely insane now and then. I won't say it's all bad, because there are people doing fantastic things as well. But in the broader perspective, you see, and I realized more and more how completely insane people in governments are, for example, and people in that are leading big multinational corporations. And then I think especially about the pharmaceutical industry, where I have had a close connection with through my work as a medical professional in the hospital here, in several hospitals. I mean, if you come to think about it and notice what we are doing to each other, it's just completely insane. And that hurt me a lot, because I was growing up in this world, thinking about everything I've been taught at school, everything I learned at university, as being, this is the normal, this is how the world works, this is the way it should be. And when you then, through meditation, reconnect your heart to your brain, notice that and being taught how to do that, and get a whole different perspective on life, and all of a sudden notice that things you've been doing all your life don't feel good anymore. And you can also reason why they don't feel good anymore. And if you notice your governments or big or CEOs from big organizations talking, and you notice this doesn't make sense, you are in a whole different state of mind, which is counterintuitive, which is not taking care of other people. It's just ego. It's not society. It's not living together. It's you against everybody else, or you taking advantage of everybody else. And I noticed that we've been taught that at school quite early on. So for 18 years ago, when I really got into that self-discovery through meditation, I used it at the time to change myself, to change my way of being, my state of being, my way of doing things, because I had a difficult time at that time. I was like, I was getting into depression because everything I knew that was normal became abnormal. There was very little that I agreed with. It was almost, maybe it was a second puberty or something like that. It was completely reinventing myself and uh, my place in society, in this world. It was a difficult time. Luckily, I got a lot of support from my teacher at the time. Therefore, I always say, if you are meditating, don't, and you start with it, don't do it alone. Find at least a group you can meditate together with, you can share experience with, because some forms of meditation that go a little bit deeper can really mess up your perspective of things, your life, and get you into a depression. It's not uncommon. There's lots of studies saying that meditation isn't always good. It actually promotes depression instead of solving it. And I agree. It's all about how you go through it. Um, but yeah, that happened to me. I was like not. I was happy, and I was happy with myself, but I was just mad and angry at the world, and couldn't understand why on earth are we doing certain things in a certain way, which is just completely insane. Luckily, as I noticed also by becoming more aware that there are lots of people that do very good things in the world. Small companies, for example, that if you buy small bakeries, if you buy a bread from them, or two breads, one bread is going to the homeless people. People that genuinely care about others, they care about their environment, they care about lifting other people and thus themselves as well up. They have a general sense of not competition but cooperation and see the benefit of that. And I was drawn more and more to that. That's also why I do the work I do with meditation and teaching things. I'm not benefiting from you. I'm just adding my energy, my information for a reasonable price. So I can cover my costs, but I don't make a lot of money out of it. It's also not my intention. And I love to work together with other people. I love to and love to discover other people that are doing great things, and just saying, you know what, follow this person, look at their profile, look at their website, because they're doing great things. I want people to notice these kind of people more and more and more. People think I'm insane doing this, I'm weird, but I like it. It gives me a good feeling, it gives me energy when I give my attention and try to lift someone up, saying, hey, you know what, you're doing great stuff. I want to tell my followers or other people about you, so they have alternatives, and also can get information from your perspective, that sort of thing. So that kind of lifted me out of that depression, out of that negative state. At the same time, I also got a kind of a grudge against the alternative or the new age movement, saying that everything should be treated with love and everything is good and positive. They were floating all over the place, because I don't think that's realistic. I just had discovered that there are people in this world, unfortunately, they seek always the high places, like governments, CEOs of big companies, that I can't say they are good people. You can't. You can't. You can look at them, you can listen to them, you can read what they're doing, and you just notice that, you know what? You're not good. You're not taking care of other people. You're just thinking about your own wealth and everything like that. So or you're just listening to people above you, like what is happening in the EU, for example, right now. All the member countries, the governments there, they just follow orders from Brussels. They don't listen to their own citizens anymore. And a perfect example is Holland, for example, the Netherlands, where the farmers are being dictated that they can't have any more cows because they are producing too much nitrogen in the air. And families that have been having a farm for years on end, they have to quit. They can't survive anymore, and that's their life, that's their livelihood, that's their everything they give for their farm, for their cows, for their and you can just say as a government, no, I don't care, cut out, and you should, yeah, don't use any cows anymore, just give up your company. And then I find it strange that the farmers in the Netherlands react to that. And they find it strange that when the government doesn't listen, that the farmers react harsh, etc. So, I mean, it's completely insane. What a good government will do is listen to the farmers to try to find a solution. And if they can't find a solution, that government person should go to Brussels and say, I'm sorry, this is not going to happen. You know, that's the way information should flow. I mean, Brussels can have a question or a request, but it doesn't mean you should do anything to everything to make it happen. Anyway, that's a perfect example of the world completely turning the world upside down, where ordinary people that try to make an honest living, that try to do the best, that have their whole life built up a farm, for example, just getting no respect from their own government. And then the government is surprised that these people react so harshly. Well, I don't think it's a surprise at all. I mean, if this the only thing they can do is say no, and if they don't listen, they find other things to make their message clear, and it's just pure desperation after a while. I mean, I can totally understand that. And there are lots of things that are happening in the world that are completely insane. I recently wrote a little article on Vero about electromagnetic fields. I have my education, my study, my degree in the medical use of electromagnetic radiation in all sorts and forms, and I know pretty well that microwave radiation from our mobile devices isn't healthy. It hasn't been healthy since they studied it. And all of a sudden, the mobile industry produced studies that said, no, it's okay, it's okay. I mean, that's also something that, again, is completely insane. And therefore, I have a grudge against a lot of the New Age movements, because they just take this with like, yeah, but it's just the way it is. We should forgive those people. No. When you notice, when you have connected your heart to your brain back again, and those two are working in sync, and when you notice things aren't right, you are allowed to say no. You know? You are allowed to say no. Really, you shouldn't just take or swallow everything. You are absolutely allowed to say no. And that's the perfect gift I have got from that whole journey with meditation, with transformational meditation, and doing heart-brain coherence as the foundation of all that. I found is that I am now able to tell straight from my heart, no, this is not right. They wanted to install a new, what do you call it, power measurement device, the utilities company, AMS, automatic meters. I said, no, you're installing another wireless equipment in my house, another source of radiation in my house, and I know from my studies that this isn't healthy, and I don't have any profit from it either. It doesn't benefit me at all. Only the utilities company it benefits. The only benefit I have that I don't have to read the numbers on the screen once a month. I mean, well, the other things is that it just gets more expensive for me, because now they can charge me by the hour and how much power I use within an hour, how much effect I use. Now, I said no to that. I got a new meter without a communication device, and now I pay much less than before because they can't measure my hourly use. They have to spread it over the whole month. I'm happy with that. And I noticed that even though they keep it quiet, a lot of people where I live has said no as well for the same reason. So it's perfectly fine to say no. This is not how I want things to be. You have the right to do that no matter what. Just as much as people said no to the vaccines, said no to masks, you have the right. It's your body. One thing again, when you have your heart and your brain connected, and you know that things are coming from your heart, you get that message in the back of your head, you feel it in your gut, this is not right, you are allowed to say no. And it helps you. It is the greatest gift of all, and I want to encourage you to do heart-brain coherence, or at least heart-focused meditation. Because throughout our upbringing, especially in the West, we have learned to disconnect our heart from our brain. Because we should only live up here and not in here. And that's just completely wrong and stupid. And it causes a lot of problems. It causes a lot of anger. It causes a lot of emotional problems. It causes a lot of mental problems as well. And the power you get from connecting your heart back to your brain, or the other way around, doesn't really matter, but reconnect them. It is not only for your health, it's for your whole mental state. And the HeartMed Institute, to develop that technique, heart-brain coherence, also says it just increases resilience. It's not only resilience against stress, but also resilience to say no. Or to say yes, I'm going that way. I'm not going that way, I'm going the other way. So, and this is also part of manifestation. If you think I'm talking about a lot of things at the same time, it's true, but I hope you understand. This is just me pouring everything out. This also helps with manifestation. Why does manifestation not work for a lot of people? Because they don't take action. They do their meditation, they change the state of being, and then they sit and wait. And that's nice, but what happens then is that only opportunities, you will become more aware of the opportunities that have that have a connection to that what you want to manifest. Nothing is really coming to you. You only become more aware of opportunities. It is you who have to take action then and grab those opportunities to go into the direction you notice, to go in a different direction than usual because that new opportunity arose and came to you. You have to stand up, get out of your chair, and do something. Changing yourself in order to manifest something also requires you to do things differently. It's not only meditation, sitting still and waiting for something to happen. That works more often when you have health issues, because then you are directly changing if you're not your philosophy, but your body's functions. Yeah. So you're directly changing that through meditation. So that's a link that you can quite easily do. You can meditate, create a state of being where you are completely healthy and relax into that state of being and go through the day with that state of being. That for your health, for your body is working pretty well. But if you want to manifest something in your life, like a new job, new career, relationships, you want to change, something outside of you, outside of your body, just meditating as like if you take a pill, it doesn't work. You only get the opportunities to you. You have to grab them. You have to get out of that chair. You have to grab them. You have to do something physically as well. Or you have to change your behaviors to get things done. That's all why we meditate. And that helps because when you do heart-brain coherence and you have connected your heart and your brain together again, it's much easier and much more powerful. And it's much easier to make decisions to say, no, this doesn't feel right. I'm not going that way. This feels good, I'm going that way. And again, you are allowed to say no. You're allowed to stand up and say, I don't take this from you. Yeah, because really, there are good people and there are worse people. And I have met people and I have discussed with people who truly, truly are insane, who just want bad. And it's just the way it is. We have to be realistic. And it's okay to say, well, I respect your opinion, but I don't agree with you. Point, period, done. I mean, as long as it comes from your heart, you can always explain, you always have throughout good arguments, and you will always shovel them under the table, those other people. I had enough letters sent out to the government agency that goes for that looks at radiation protection in our country here. They have not sent any letters back to me anymore because they can't argument anymore with me. I mean, I can send them. They don't want me to go public with things either. The last letter they wrote to me was, you can't put this in the newspapers or anything like that because you're just making people anxious. And then I wrote back, I'm not making people anxious. It's you who should give better information so people don't have to be anxious for this electromagnetic radiation. Because you can live with it. I mean, I have my laptop in front of me, I have my mobile phone in front of me. It's all wireless because they're mobile devices. But I turn everything off during the night. Yeah? I mean, this technology is fine. We can use it. But we also have to take the consequences and know that it isn't healthy. Yeah? Smoking is also not healthy. But people do it anyway. People enjoy it. And why not? Let them live. Let people use things, do things, but in a healthy, considerate way. And that means that don't use your mobile devices 24/7. Set them on flight mode when you go to bed and want to use your mobile phone as your alarm. Such things. And that is the things that is the job of the national radiation protection agencies to communicate. Like, all nice and well, but take it easy with your mobile devices, etc. Just a simple thing. So let me see a little bit about the comments here. That's all the things here. Too much money involved. Yeah, there is. If you notice that there's like the world society is completely driven by the addiction to money. It's an addiction. It's more and more and more. It's like drugs. It's like it's just an addiction, and we find it normal, but it isn't. Another thing that is normal, that's completely abnormal when you think about it. Every decision, everything that is being done is dictated by how much money you have or can spend on it, or can loan, or something like that. There's nothing comes for free anymore. There was it Nestle or something like that didn't want that they didn't want water in the rivers or in a lake to be free anymore. I mean, you should pay for it. It was completely insane. I turned it onto flight mode once, and then people who really needed me couldn't reach me. That's true, because when you're on a flight mode, you turn your communication off. Yeah. On the other hand, if you do it at the night, and you know that people want to reach you, of course, leave your phone on. But normally, I mean, if you're sleeping, what would happen? Sue says they've stolen all the money and now they're coming for the rest. Yeah, that's their addiction. It's like, it's. I mean, sometimes I think why I'm earning money with my work. I mean, they can just keep it and give me some coupons to go to the store and buy bread, or take one bread or something like that. Because I mean, with the taxes I pay, I almost can entertain two households with that. I mean, just why don't you just take it all and just give out coupons or something? If you're so happy or so addicted to money and need it from me, why don't you just keep it all yourself and just let me do some things with coupons or something like that? Another nice thing, what I think is a benefit, is that more and more countries are looking into civil wages or something like that. That everyone living in that country or living in that community gets the same amount each month, whether they have a job or not. Which is an interesting concept, and it seems to work. I think Finland is a pioneer on that. It seems to work pretty well. It's another way of thinking, and I like such things. I like it when people start trying new things. Denmark, for example, they say, well, it isn't at all productive to have a 5-day work week from 8 to 5 or 8 to 4. It's much more productive to have 4 days. Okay, and they try new things. They look at it in a very with new eyes, and that's what makes me happy. That there are people still that think different, that think out of the box, that want to try new things, that want to really make a difference. They're all about growth, not about taking your money or being addicted to money or anything like that. They are just wanting the best for everyone and themselves, of course. But when you want the best for everyone, you will notice that you benefit from it the most. Just do it. You will notice that straight away. Okay. Will never be 4 days in Germany. Too traditional, thinking that one who doesn't work is a bad person. Yeah, but that's again how society works for you, isn't it? It's like it's you're just thinking in one line, and nobody is thinking anymore. If you're thinking outside of that box, you're abnormal. You're not providing anything. Everything should be in that box that the government has set. Done deal. Yeah. Anyway, let's do heart brain coherence, because that's what it's all about. Reconnecting heart to your brain, be more resilient, be able to say no, be able to say yes to things that feel good for you. Listen to your heart, your gut, your brain when it's all connected, those three centers. It's enough with your heart and brain, but now they're talking about the little brain in the gut as well. I mean, if you breathe through your heart like we will do in a moment, you will balance that whole system, your whole all your organs, your whole nervous system, and you become a more complete, resilient, healthy, immune system boost person. So sit down, find a comfortable position, make sure you have good enough support, and let all this information just slide down, let it sink in. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth, close your eyes, lower your shoulders, loosen your jaw. Let the day go, settle down, feel yourself getting centered. Take another nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. Just let the day go. Center yourself. Feel yourself getting settled. One more time, good deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And breathe normally. Breathe normally like you used to do. Or like you usually do, I would say. And notice where in your body you feel your breath the most. Maybe you feel your breath the most in your nostrils. Or maybe you feel your breath the most in the back of your throat. Or maybe you feel your breath the most in your chest or your tummy. Put your focus on that point, that focus point where you feel your breath the most. And notice how you are breathing through that point. Notice the colder air flowing in, the warmer air flowing out. Nice and calm, deep breaths. Try to breathe slower than you usually do. Slower and deeper. And this is just to tell your body that it is in a safe place. Nice, slow, deep breaths. Settling down even more. And these minutes are just for you. It's self-care, self-love. You deserve it, you need it, you benefit from it. Take that time every day. Settle down in peace with yourself. And to make it even more peaceful, focus on your heart space. Become more aware of your heart and your heart space. And you can help by putting your hand on your chest, right there where your heart is. And as you do that, just imagine breathing through your heart. Just like you did through that focus point, now you breathe through your heart. Breathing in through your heart. Out through your heart. In through your heart. Out through your heart. Nice, calm, slow, deep breaths through your heart. Feel that peace within you. For a moment, feel the world around you fade away. Just get comfortable with yourself while you breathe through your heart. It's all okay right now, at this moment. And as you breathe through your heart, set the intention to be more resilient. Set the intention to listen to your intuition. To trust your intuition. To trust your gut feelings, your instinct. And know that every time you are uncertain, you can do this exercise. You can breathe through your heart, settle down, and you can ask your heart a question, a yes-no question. You can just say, "Dear heart, is this right or wrong?" And the first answer that comes to mind is in 99.5% of the cases the correct answer. And set the intention that when you go about in everyday life and you hear that voice in the back of your head saying, "Don't do this, wait," or "Yes, do this, yes, this is nice." Follow that voice, follow that advice. And set the intention that whenever you notice that voice in your head, that you notice that it is, that you know that it is from source, from your intuition. Can you imagine how you would feel if you are completely in tune with your intuition, with the flow of the universe? Would you feel gratitude? Would you feel at ease? Can you imagine that feeling of knowing? And does that feeling of knowing cascade into other feelings like gratitude, joy, or appreciation? And as you breathe through your heart, just imagine yourself walking around, observing the world around you and feeling what is good and feeling what isn't good, being so sure about it. Just imagine that as you breathe through your heart. Feel that ease, feel that peace of being certain, of trusting your guts, trusting your intuition, knowing instinctively when something is okay and something is not okay. Not doubting that that information that's coming through your heart knowing that the more you are able to settle down at least once a day, like this, at peace, breathing through your heart, having that deep connection with your heart, and the knowing that this special focus on your heart balances your whole body, all your nervous systems, all your organs. And it reconnects your heart to your brain. Just feel it. Feel that ease, that peace of mind. Can you imagine being so certain that you easily can say no to things that you don't accept, things that go against you, against your values? Feel that power within you. The power of having your heart, your brain and your gut aligned, talking to each other, working as one orchestra. Feel that light up your body, that feeling, let every cell in your body vibrate with those feelings of empowerment, of gratitude, of peace. Feel the warmth soaring through every cell and every organ of your body, and it's okay if you notice yourself smiling right now. It's okay if you feel that warmth, it's okay if you feel that light sensation. Just let it happen. Breathe through your heart, fill your body. Fill your body with that feeling of empowerment, that feeling of knowing, that peace it gives you. And when you have filled your body with that feeling and it's filled up to the top, just radiate it outwards from your heart into that field around you. Radiate. Radiate like the beautiful being you are. The beautiful being that you are, operating from source. Every decision comes from within, from your heart. Very good. On your next out breath, I want you to lower your shoulders, relax even more, and for a short moment, just get back into that state of being. Just relax and get back into that state of being. Not force it anymore, but get back to that state of being. Relax into it and just enjoy it for a little while. Very good. Now slowly get back. Just notice the room you are in. Notice the room you are in right now. Notice any sounds in the room. Breathe normally again. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, slowly move your body back and forth and from side to side. Wiggle with your fingers and toes. And when you are ready, open your eyes. Welcome back, welcome back. Awesome. How did that go? You can type back in the chat when you're back. You can type your experience or you can type it later after the session. Some people do that. Welcome back too. Great. So this was a little bit of a special session. A lot of talk from me. A lot of things I had to get out there about some of the negative aspects of meditation that actually can be turned around to something very beneficial, and noticing the power you have within you, the resilience you create when you do heart-brain coherence, the resilience, the empowerment you have when you reconnect your heart to your brain. And don't be afraid to say no. Don't be afraid to speak up, speak out, and say, this I don't accept. Because as long as it comes from your heart, and you have that connection in place, you know it when you have it. You know it because things align. Things align. I can tell you lots of examples. Recently, for example, I wanted to buy, it's very simple, it's just the craziest things. I wanted to buy some cat food for my cat. And the moment I thought about buying that cat food, I got that message in the back of my head. And I know it because now I know how strong that message is then I know it's real. Wait one day, it said. Wait one day. So I didn't buy the cat food. The next day I got an email from the company I buy cat food from that they had um, a rebate, 20% off of the cat food I usually buy for my cat. So just simple things, I know, and that just teaches you, whenever you notice that, whenever you experience this teaches you that you can trust your intuition. This is every time a confirmation that you can listen to your intuition, that voice in the back of your head isn't just a voice, that is a signal that you are in flow with the universe. That is helping you. So listen to that, listen to your gut. And when your government says to do this and do that, and you listen to that and it doesn't make sense to you, then it doesn't make sense to you. You don't force yourself to understand it. If they can't explain it to you in normal words, that why that you have to do something is good. If it doesn't feel good and they can't explain to you in normal words why you should do it, don't do it. Say no. This is not correct. This doesn't feel right. It's not correct. And you're totally fine. So do it. There's this whole movement going on that says non-compliance, and I don't want to advise following that like 100%, but there is something there that is absolutely true. Like, if it doesn't resonate with you, don't go with it. There's always something called natural law, universal law, that stands above all other laws. And if it isn't correct for you, don't do it. So simple is it. And forget about that new age stuff saying that everything should be positive and you should be okay with everything and share so much love and everything like that. Really, if everybody was like that, we would already be in paradise. We have people in places that shouldn't be there, and well, you notice it right away. So please follow your heart, says Chu. Absolutely. Good. Thank you. Thank you for joining today. I hope I didn't bore you too much. I certainly missed a few followers, but I don't care about that either. I mean, just go with the flow. I hope to see you back next week. If you don't want this kind of conversations or those kind of podcasts anymore, please answer my question when I say, if you have any suggestions for themes for the next Monday, answer them and give some themes, because I always listen to you. And if you want a certain theme, I try to put that into the next podcast. So, and if you don't see that question, you can always contact me whenever throughout the week. Great. Take good care, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Stay strong. Listen to your heart. Listen to your intuition. Listen to your guts. Say no to things that you don't like. Say yes to the things you like and go that direction. Take care. Be safe. Namaste.